laid or whatever. You know what I mean?
Word. Yeah, LinkedIn says I'm not approved. All right.
I bet. Yo, also, I'm trying to go live on TikTok, bro. Once I get enough followers, I'm going live on TikTok. But
Yeah.
you know what it is.
All right, we're live. We're live, my guy.
What's up? What's up?
What's up, people? Drop some questions.
Should be able to. Should be a link at the bottom where they could queue up if you wanted to bring them on.
Mm-hmm. Where do I see that?
It should be at the bottom where it says like leave studio, share, cam, mic, stuff cam.
Yeah.
What's up, everyone? Helping my boy Rick through the technicalities of it all.
Yeah. Moullin's really up on his technology game. I got Wait, so invite and all that, is that what it is?
Yeah, you can do that and then just post it in the comments.
Okay, word.
And then they'll show up at the bottom and you can bring them on whenever you want them to come on.
All right, dog.
I got something good for you today.
All right.
So for me recently, I've just been like, okay, obviously there's a ton of stuff going on in the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
From an information standpoint, it's information overload, right? You can Google anything you want. People post on Instagram all day long, all this stuff. Some stuff is good, some stuff is bad. Comparing each other, all this stuff, right?
Yeah,
a ton of information every single day. I've had a couple glimpses into the quiet aspect. Like I'll get quiet sometimes, like in my mind, like. I notice sometimes, and I know you're the same. We've talked about this, where your mind is always going, right? Always thinking about the next step. Like, what should I be doing now? How can I be better? All this stuff. I've had a couple of glimpses into my mind just being quiet and me just being focused on, like, not even focused, just like quiet and being like, oh, at this particular moment, this is what I need to be working on, and everything else being quiet and just everything else shutting off.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen little glimpses in my life recently of that happening, and now I'm trying to get into a place where I'm doing that consistently. Talk about that, like in terms of like from your perspective, because I know for me, the thing that I get from you is the idea of being focused for something for 3-4 years, right?
Yeah.
And obviously I've been able to do that in soccer, but now that I'm coming into a whole new realm, a whole new world,
mm-hmm.
business, social media, marketing, all this stuff,
mm-hmm.
it's really I'm trying to learn more, but be focused for a long period of time. Like how are you able to stay focused? Because there's definitely been stuff in your way where you've been like, oh, that does sound like a good idea. Like I could do that, but I'm going to stay in my lane and keep doing what I'm doing.
For sure. No, that's a fantastic topic and something definitely to harp on. And, just like you said in the beginning, it was tough. And like, when you don't see growth right away, it's tough. But I've always been like about, personally, for me in business and learning, for me, it's always just been getting better as a coach and a person. And like, I know that when I educate myself with the right things and I become better as a coach and a person, my business will grow and my business will develop. Why? Because I can help more people.
Right.
And, we both love Gary Vee. What does he always talk about? Help people for free, help people for free, help people for free. And that's just what I've kind of, focused on. And I think we've talked about this before. Like, I think one of the big parts is like being able to, quote, bucket your days, like focusing. This is for, training, business, even school. One day on something specific. So, for example, right now, like on Mondays and Tuesdays, for my business, I always focus on client emails, client programming, every single thing for my clients, adding content, things like that. And then, for example, from a workout standpoint, right now I'm in a rehab process. So, for example, Monday would be like an upper body workout. Plus,
a lot of people already do that too. Most people are like, oh, upper body days, lower body days. But it's like, okay, but now do that in your life. Like,
exactly.
Work on the mental aspect of the game today, or video analysis today, or whatever. So yeah, absolutely. And people are already sort of doing this, because a lot of people ask me upper body days, lower body days. that's what you should be doing for your life as well.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And just like you said, like there are going to be like the top things that you want to do. And then there's like, other things to add in, So for example, I always like to think like, how can I improve today from a physical standpoint, from a mental standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, emotional standpoint, and try to tick all those boxes.
Yeah.
So for example, like, tomorrow I'm focusing on upper body physically. I'm focusing on video analysis from a mental standpoint.
Yeah.
I'm focusing on, from a business or school standpoint, whatever you want to focus on.
Yeah.
And then just, kind of bucketing in that. And like when you're consistent with that over time, obviously the results add up.
So my question to that, to make it practical, is okay. So you're working on video analysis or you're working on upper body, but like say someone texts you and like, hey, let's work out together. I want to work out together. I have this great workout. And you're like, okay, fine, let's work out. But then it's like, oh, but we're going to be doing lower body, but that's not part of the plan. It might be good for you. It might be a good workout, but you have your own goals and paths and ambitions. How do you personally stay focused on yourself and say, hey, no, I can't work out with you. I see where you're coming from. And they're like, oh, but I need a workout partner. I need someone to keep me accountable and all this stuff. But you feel like, oh, I want to be a good friend. I want to help them out. But at the same time, I got to stay focused and I got to stay doing what I'm doing, because once I take care of myself, I can take care of everyone else.
For sure. No, that's a great point. And that's part of adaptation. Like,
yeah, there
are a couple options there. So like, for example, if you did legs yesterday and your boy wants to do legs and you plan to do upper body, just go and like vibe with him. You guys can work hard together, feed off of each other's energy. But like you said, you're on your plan, and you and I are big on planning the we have our long-term goals, then we plan our weeks, then we plan our days, and that adds up. Yeah. So like, for example, if you plan your week and you're supposed to do upper body, your boy's doing lower body, then you adapt, you go with him, right, and you could feed off each other's energy. And then you could be like, yo, bro, like maybe tomorrow, like stick with my plan and we can like start training together. So we see how each other reacts and we could feed off each other.
It's funny because, anyone who just came in, like I was talking about how I was pretty much late to the stream because I went grocery shopping. And in my head, I was like, yo, Murphy's Law, man, Murphy's Law. Everything that's going to go wrong is going to go wrong. You're going to be late. So like, I'm like, oh, I could time it. I could be back in 20 minutes from the grocery store or whatever. Bro, everything is going to go wrong. You're going to hit every single traffic light. The person who's going to bring the groceries out are going to be late. Everything's going to go wrong. And it made me think about, in terms of what we're talking about right now, staying focused. You want to stay focused. You want to achieve your goal. Every single thing is going to go wrong. And you can look at this two ways. Everything's going to go wrong, so why do I even try? Or everything's going to go wrong, I need to plan ahead, right? I mean, you want to be a pro. I guarantee you're going to get injured. I guarantee you a coach isn't going to pick you. I guarantee you, you're not going to play for a year. Like, things are going to happen. Everything that's going to go wrong is going to go wrong. Are you planning ahead? Are you like, your boy is going to ask you if you want to go out on a Friday when you know for a fact you have a game on a Saturday. It is going to happen. So instead of being like, oh, when it happens, I'm going to be so disciplined, I'm going to say no. Just text your boy right now. Don't text me on a Friday, right? So it's like, everything that's going to go wrong will go wrong. Everything you think, for a second, be pessimistic, right? I'm all about positivity. Let's push forward.
But this is realistic.
Realistic. And I think it's both. I think it's pessimism and optimism at the same time. I think that's realism. Like my boy's going to ask me to go out. I'm going to be seen as a bad friend. All this stuff, like everything's going to happen. Everything bad's going to happen. But I can be optimistic and say, you know what, when that happens, I'm just going to text my boy now. Hey, don't text me on a Friday, man. I have games on Saturday. Don't text me.
Mm-hmm.
Or, me and my fiance, like sometimes I have trouble going to the gym. Like I'll take a nap in the afternoon. When I wake up, I don't want to go to the gym. So we're automatically like, okay, if I'm going to take a nap, I'm going to sleep in my gym clothes so that when I wake up, I literally just have to get in the car. I was talking about this on my live the other day about, You don't have to do the whole action. You just like we've read Atomic Habits. You don't need to do the whole action. Like it's not about going to the gym. It's about getting in the car. Once I'm in the car, I'm there.
Environment is huge, man.
100% of the time that I've gotten in the car, I've made it to the gym. But I've only made it to the car 45% of the time. Yeah. So if I can get that 100%, if I can get to the car 100% of the time, I'm going to go to the gym 100% of the time. So I talked about that a little bit on the live about how it's not about doing all this stuff. Like, oh, I gotta go to the field and I gotta do this amount of this amount of reps and all this stuff. No, just make it to the car and everything else will happen. Like there's some action that you do where it automatically happens for the rest of the action. Once I pick up the book, I guarantee you I'll read for 30 minutes to an hour. I know I will. It's just me getting to the book. It's just me relaxing, put my phone away. Once I put the phone away, it's game over. Mm-hmm. So I think that's also going with what you're saying 100% is just like plan ahead. What's going to go wrong is going to go wrong. So plan ahead. Text your boy now. I'm not going out on Fridays. If you want to go out on Thursday, we'll make concessions for that. Like, Thursday, Wednesday, whatever. It's up to you. But Fridays for me, don't text me. Don't text me. Don't call me. I'll see you after the game. Like we'll celebrate after the game. But right now, and it's just planning ahead.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. There's a lot of things there that I want to cover that I wrote down.
For sure.
The solution mindset, your environment is key to success. But now that I just heard that, something that people always ask me is like, for example, I have a plan for the week, right? But my body is sore. And according to the listen to the body rule, I shouldn't be training legs because my legs are sore. So this is what I say. In the beginning of the week, you can have a structured plan.
Right.
But you should also be writing. So, for example, tick 2 leg sessions, 2 upper body sessions, 4 ball work sessions, 4 video analysis sessions. Doesn't matter what day you get them done.
True.
But as long as you look back on that Sunday and you got those sessions done, you're in the clear. And just like you said, you can use that as kind of a trick for the adaptation rule.
Right.
For example, your boy wants to train legs. All right, I'll do the legs with him, and tomorrow I'll do upper body.
Right. So I wanted to make a discernment between what you're saying, adaptation, and just going with the flow, because there's 2 different things, right? Like
it's kind of similar, though, isn't it?
It's very similar, very similar. And I said this the other day. Looking in the mirror, that's not the opposite of you. That's just the reverse of you, right? So it's like when it comes to adaptation means this is the plan, but it's not a straight line, right? I'm going to make it there, but it's not a straight line. Going with the flow, Roy Keane says, dead fish go with the flow. Mm-hmm. But when it's like, oh, this is my goal. And then as you go, oh, my boy wants to go hang out. Okay, I go over here. And now I'm on a completely different path. Mm-hmm. Like you've seen it before. Like success isn't a straight line. Success is like boom, boom. And you're going through hills and you're going over mountains and all this stuff. Right? That's adaptation. Adaptation is I'm on my way to the goal. I have to put on a different pair of shoes or I have to change my clothes and go on that goal. Not, oh, I'm going to go a completely different way and you're not even on the same trajectory anymore. Mm-hmm. That's going with the flow and coming back and then going away and then coming back over and over again, going with the wind, basically going with the wind. So there's 2 2 different things there. You're saying adaptation and you're spot on. Being able to adapt and overcome, going with the flow. I'm trying to think of a better word for it. Going with the flow or whatever, just being sort of, in the wind, basically.
Yeah. Just to add on to that, I love where you're coming from. People always say like, what's flow? How do you get into flow? This, that. So let's build this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Andrew Huberman, neuroscientist. We both like him a lot. And I love this example, man. He talks about, and this is why athletics and being an athlete is so essential for your life outside of football and in your life after football, right?
Yeah.
So we can compare this. I was speaking to one of my friends the other day, and I was saying, like, I'm having trouble studying this type of material. So Andrew Huberman says, and your body is the same as your brain is the same as your body. So, for example, you're not going to go to the field And, sometimes you don't want to train. It's natural.
Right.
Like, you don't want to train. But when you get warmed up, 5 to 10 minutes, you start warming up. You warm up the body. You warm up the muscles. You get the right muscles activated. Once you start, you're not going to stop.
Right.
Same thing for doing boring work. If you're a student or if you're trying to study, get yourself to the next level, you're studying textbooks. You're going to sit down with that textbook and you'll be like, man, this is so boring. I don't want to read this.
Yeah.
But once you get into that flow, once you get into it,
yeah,
you're going to keep going. And it's part also of a mindset. Like, I have the mindset of like, and this we can go back and forth. Like, once I start something, you don't want to finish. You shouldn't. So, I mean, once you start something, you need to finish.
Right.
So it's that mindset that like, okay, I have on my to-do list 25 minutes of studying. I'm going to sit there 5 minutes. I might want to go check my phone. I might want to go to another book. But you said to yourself, I want to do 5 minutes.
Right.
And you just get it done no matter what, because you started. You already started. You only have 20 more minutes left. You did 25. You started. You finish. And one more thing to add on, like environment. Put your phone away. Put things away that will distract you.
Yeah. I mean, so this is the thing. We're saying the same thing, but in my opinion, the mind is. I've been really thinking about this recently because we're saying the same thing. Let me explain.
Yeah.
I don't believe the mind is the body in terms of when I give in. So my body wants chocolate, right? My body wants chocolate. It is a chemical reaction in my brain that when I see some chocolate, my body wants and goes to get it. I've been thinking about this recently that you have two buckets, right? So your body is one and your mind is the other. Your body does not want to do that last rep. It doesn't. It's biological that your body is here to avoid discomfort. Yeah. Right? Your brain and your body, right? So for me, the mind, you have to feed the mind more than you feed the body. Your body, if you what I'm saying is like, who are you going to listen to, right? Who are you going to listen to? Your mind is, if your mind is attached to your body, right? If your mind is attached to your body, you're going to feel the pain and you're going to want to stop. Simple. But if you have created, and this is why habits are so important. This is why I don't like discipline for myself, because I'm not disciplined. I like to have systems and processes in my life, and I follow those. I'm training my mind to just follow what it says. Like, if you're going to do 5 reps, do 5 reps. That's a mental thing that I've set up before everything else, before I've gotten into a discomfort, state of discomfort. Now I'm training, I'm pouring into my mind more into my mind, and my body will follow. So we're saying similar things where you're saying that, your brain doesn't want to do something, like your brain doesn't want to work out, but once your body gets going, your brain will get involved, right? I'm saying that my mind is the one that set up that workout first. Now I have to get into a place where my body and my mind are going to follow. It's almost like, and I've talked about this before, present Andrew and future Andrew. They're two different people. Future Andrew is going to be tired and not want to work out. Present Andrew is motivated, hungry, ready to go, right? And this is where commitment comes in. But present Andrew right now, I want to get to work. I want to create a better human being. I want to be a better person. This is January 1st for most people. I want to do better. I want to be, better financially. I want to be better in soccer. I want to be healthier. I want to eat better. All this stuff. That's present. In the future, you're not going to want to do that. You're going to see a bar of chocolate and you're going to eat it. You're going to have a Coke and you're going to drink it and you're going to feel bad about yourself. And now we're going through a whole nother cycle. So it's like, in that moment, I need to be able to feed and put systems and processes in place that in the future, I have to do what I have to do it. I have to do it. And the more and more you pour into your mind, the more and more you pour in and push through those boundaries. Now your mind expands, your body obviously gets healthier, all that stuff. But I believe that they're separate at first.
I don't know. It's interesting. I hear where you're coming from, but personally, I think the mind and body are one. Like well,
they should be. I think they should be. They should be.
for me, like physiology dictates psychology. So like when you start moving, this is an example, movement. When you start moving,
right,
there's a lot of things going on from all the systems in the body, lymphatic system, endocrine, cardiovascular, muscular. But if we talk specifically, I want to talk endocrine system.
Right.
Why? Because the endocrine system has a direct relation to the brain. Mm-hmm. And for the people that don't know, who didn't pay attention in science, I didn't pay attention in science. I just researched myself. But, you know, the endocrine system helps release neurotransmitters and hormones, right? So once you start moving, like you said, dopamine is going to be released. You know, adrenaline is going to be released, and then your brain is going to be having those good hormones released, and it's going to want to keep going. But like you said, there is a limit. There is a limit where your body says it's time. It's time to stop, and then your brain has to override.
Right.
So I think we're coming to like it's a path, you know. So like. Maybe the physiology has to start, then the psychology will come in, then the physiology might stop in the middle, then the psychology has to override. So it's
but you could also say I can close my eyes right now. I can close my eyes right now and make my body feel good and energetic, right? With visualization and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So in that situation, the mind would come before the body. And so what I'm trying to get at is, and I've been, you know, from a religious standpoint or whatever, fasting, right? The reason that you fast is because you want to disconnect the body from the mind so that you can pour more into the mind, right? Mm-hmm. It's like a workout for the mind, saying that I don't need, when we eat, we're fueling our body, right? But most of the time we don't necessarily fuel our mind in disconnected from our body, right? So, you know, and we've, you know, a lot more research has been done about the stomach and, you know, the good things that you can do for your stomach that will actually help you mentally.
Yes.
And all that stuff. But we don't normally disconnect the brain from the mind from the body in terms of let me just fast in the morning because, you know, we've all been taught breakfast is the most important meal of the day and all this stuff. But if you just disconnected from that and said, you know what, I'm not going to eat and I'm just going to focus on pouring into my mind, whether that's reading, video analysis, whatever it is mentally, and saying that, you know, just going back generally, I just think we put, you know, I get tons of questions on physical aspects of the game and stuff like that. And I always say, go check out Rick Fit. For me, I can only tell you what I've done. But for me, I think that there should be a lot more put into the mind aspect of the game. Sure. Because for the most part, people don't eat that bad. Like a lot of people asking me, they don't eat that bad. They don't. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm giving them too much credit. Maybe I'm giving too much credit, but
they tell you they're eating good. Maybe they tell you, but
yeah, for sure.
From what I've seen, like when I onboard clients and I see, like I do a 3-day meal diet to see their nutrition, dude. Right.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, 95% of the people are not eating properly.
Right. Okay, yeah.
But that's interesting. That's where you're coming from. You have a great point, and
Okay. To your point, perfect. To your point, they're not eating well, right? You think any of them said, I like not eating well, or I every day I wake up, my goal is to not eat well, right? So okay. And I heard this recently. It changed my life when I heard it was actually in Atomic Habits. I'm pretty sure where he said
that book is changing. Whatever.
Unbelievable. It's the Bible, man. When winners and losers have the same goals.
Oh yeah, I love that.
Oh my goodness, man. When I heard that, I was like, it's because you know me, I've been huge on goal setting. I have multiple YouTube videos on goal setting and all this stuff. When I heard that, I was like, shoot, it's not the goals. Ronaldo didn't win because of the goals he set. Messi didn't win because of the goals he set. There were people who set bigger goals than Messi and Ronaldo, right? Mm-hmm. But who are they? Right. So it's not the goals you set. And so for me, it's like, it's a mental block that we have where we're not going in. It's literally, I look at it like rolling out my brain. Like, let's get in there. Let's roll it out. Let's make it, you know, more elastic. Let's stretch it. Let's strengthen it just like you do with the rest of the body. And so when you're going to the gym and you're pushing through reps, or you're doing, running and you're pushing through the last mile or whatever, and you're doing all that stuff, you're stretching your brain. When you read, you're stretching and opening it up. When you listen to us talk, you're opening it up. Like all these different things.
Let's go to fasting, man, because before I lose this story.
Yeah.
From a scientific standpoint, you just said something, excellent. Dude, when you fast, the scientific term and the reason you do it is, and the reason you feel sharper is there's a brain chemical called BDNF release, brain-derived neurotropic factor. What does that do? That opens up the brain and allows, neuroplasticity. More information can get in. And this is something that I had talked about the other day. Like, your brain is very, the reason you learn at such a younger age, like, and like after a certain age, you can't learn as quickly, you can't learn as many languages and things like that, is because your brain isn't as malleable anymore.
Right.
You can't take in as much information. Right. So, like what I was talking about the other day, like I stopped playing football for 2 years because I heard like some BS that footy was a girls' game. So I listened to that. I listened to some nonsense instead of like, because you don't have your own motives and beliefs
right
at that age. So
most people don't have them now. Most people don't have them now, and that's my biggest problem. And I'm literally all last year I was literally rewiring my own brain because I was like, none of this stuff is mine. This is what my mom taught me. This is what my dad taught me. This is what my coaches taught me. This is what the media taught me. All this stuff. So for all last year, I was literally like, you know what? I'm going to read books. I'm going to study the greats. I'm going to, do all these different things and come up with my own identity and my own ideas. I'm still doing it. Right? It's a never-ending process.
And this is something that we got to add in here. Like you and I, why we get along so well, is we're lifelong learners.
For sure.
Open-minded, lifelong learners can always learn more. And for me, it's like, dude, you can learn something from anyone. It's a cliche saying.
I learn from my dog, dude. I learn from my dog every day.
Yeah, look at look how we were talking the other day about presence. Dude, they are so present, man. Like when their people are home, they're present. They're happy. They're smart. When they leave, they're just thinking about their people,
Yeah. Unconditional love too, bro. I'm telling you, she does something bad, I give her a little smack, and then she's right back in my lap, and I'm just like, oh my goodness, like if I could have that, I'm good. I'm good. Where no one can do wrong. No one can do wrong. Like if I did something wrong, if I, whatever, and if I was coaching a kid and I was a little bit too hard on whatever, I come home, she's fine with me. She loves me, whatever. So it's like, if I could have that where I don't expect anything from anyone except for some food and water, then I'm good.
Dude, like, for me, that's like dude, I want to become like, I know you're into Ryan Holiday. I want to become more stoic, man. Like,
for sure. Every day, bro.
Unreal, dude. Like something I've been thinking about. I don't think we've ever talked about this. Like there are two types of mental toughness, right? There's a David Goggins mental toughness.
Right.
And then there's a Ryan Holiday and a Marcus Aurelius stoic mental toughness.
Yeah.
What's the difference? Mental toughness, David Goggins, is physically. And this actually might tie into what we were talking about.
Yeah, for sure.
Physically, you hit that barrier. Boom, you keep pushing. That's mentally tough. Doing physical things to strengthen the brain. Marcus Aurelius, stoicism, talks about, like what you just said, and I want to get so much better at it, man. Like, dude, when you feel something upsetting or you feel something excellent, how can you accept that, take it in, and stay even keeled instead of getting too high or too low? Right. You can't, let your emotions affect your actions. It's so much easier said than done. Because I think everything is like, dude, if you can control your emotions, man.
Yeah.
That's why, like what you said, mindfulness and being able to try to control the mind is huge, man. Because if you can accept those emotions and not act poorly or another way, like you can change your life. And it's a never ending process.
I mean, 100%. And and this is the crazy thing. I've gotten glimpses into all this in terms of like like I was saying at the beginning, there are moments in my life now where I get like everything gets quiet. Like there's no news, there's no like I feel like in our life right now it's go 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 go.
Yeah.
I know a lot of kids right now who are in lockdown feel like life's passing them by, and it's constant go go go. And I get that. And it's definitely like that. Like the sun will come up tomorrow, right? Whether I'm here or not, the sun's going to come up. So yes, there is always like time is ticking. Like at the bottom right here, the time is going by.
Yeah.
Right. But
and if I was smart, I'd have the questions coming across the screen, but I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, hover above the questions and it'll just be like a plus. But it's just like I've come across like moments where I get quiet in my head. There are also moments when I, and it says it in the book Mastery, where he talks about there are moments that you get a glimpse into genius, right? And the goal should be to cultivate those moments as much as possible. How do you do that? Through hours and hours and hours of practice, like we were talking about at the beginning. It gets boring. You have to push through that boring. I was actually going to talk to that.
Oh God.
A lot of people on here, they know my journey, like my journey from last year in March to now, 2,500 followers now doesn't seem like a ton. I was telling my fiance, I was like, oh, but I don't have 91,000. But here's the thing, put 2,500 people in this room right now. That's a lot of people to talk to. Right. So it's like that. But there are many, many moments that I can look back, and it's only been a year, but there's many moments I can look at when it was so boring, dude, like waking up every single day, going on IG Live with 1 or 2 people on there and posting content and getting 3 or 4 likes. And just like every single day, I'm just like, what are we doing? And then you would have a moment where it just blows up. I had a reel that did 250,000 and I'm just getting every single time I refresh, I'm getting more followers and stuff like this. And I'm like, oh my goodness, this is what it's all been for. And then it gets quiet again. And I'm like, oh, now I got to go through. But those are the moments. It's like a wave, bro. Like everyone's surfing on this wave. Some people are going to crash at the top. Some people are going to crash at the bottom, but you got to stay on it. You got to keep going. And that's where you're talking about adaptability and always getting better and always bringing new stuff.
Yeah.
But it's going to get boring. It's going to get boring.
This dude, there was a quote that I wrote. Let me just try to see if I can find it. From James Clear about atomic habits. Dude, here it is. This is it. What you're talking about, dude.
Beautiful.
The greatest threat to success is not failure. What is it? Boredom.
Yeah.
Habits become boring.
Right.
Habits become boring. You don't see the results. You don't see the likes. You don't see the 6-pack. But if you keep going, you have to fall in love with boredom. If you only do the work when it's convenient or exciting, then you'll never be consistent enough to achieve remarkable results. Professionals stick to the schedule. Amateurs let life get in the way.
I mean, do you want to bring anyone on or questions or whatever?
Yeah, dude, let's try it. All right. This question, let's get this guy on. Xavier Flores. For young players, how many days a week and hours should they be training to become elite? I want you to touch on this real quick.
Okay, so this is actually perfect to what you were just saying. Like, the reason you're asking me for how much time there is because you see it as a finish line. There is no finish line. There is no finish line. There is no amount of days. There is no amount of weeks or hours or months that it takes to become a pro or it takes to become an elite player. You heard the 10,000 hour rule. The reason that they made the 10,000 hour rule is because when they lined up all the greats, the Beatles, Johann Sebastian Bach, Mozart, all the greats, all the masters of the game, Kobe, all these guys, they found out that it took them about 7 or 8 years after actually putting in 100%. It took them about 7 or 8 years. And if you add all that to get all that up, it's an average of 10,000 hours. But the reason you want to know how long it is, because you see it as a finish line. Once I get here, it'll all be worth it. It'll all make sense. But you're disregarding the whole point of all of it. The whole point of all of it is to master something and actually become elite. Once you become elite, then that means that you have this understanding that basically at any moment, the work is going to have to be applied, and you're going to be able to do it. But that you don't have a calendar for that. There's no amount of time. You just have to do it forever.
Mm-hmm. But also, to touch on that point, I completely love that. Like, there is no finish line, man. There's always work to be done. People always say, like, once you stop growing, you die. It's that simple. Like that. And then the second thing is, who's the judge of if you're a lead or not? Who's the judge?
You posted that earlier.
Like, you can go to a trial. You can be a right back. You can be unbelievable at whipping balls in the box. You're not elite at beating someone 1v1. You're not elite at playing the ball with your left foot inside, but you deliver the ball in the box with pace, which leads to assists. So, and this is something that Andrew always talks about, and we've always discussed, like, what's more important, working on your strengths or working on your weaknesses? And this is something I always go back and forth about. You made that YouTube video on Become Elite, and I like that. Yeah. And I think there's kind of like this certain, I guess, threshold. I mean, I guess you are the judge. Like, for me, to answer that question, it's like, I want to become solid at everything.
Yeah.
And then, but like, you want to have a good foundation, a good baseline.
Right.
Based off of your position, based off of the most consistent actions you do during a game, based off of what you're good at, you work more on that so you could stand out. So instead of being an average player, you're this guy who can do this, and you're known for this.
Yeah. I mean, I always bring it back to, why is Ronaldo still working? Why is Messi still working? And you're asking me how many days and weeks and hours it takes. They're still working. They're 35 and 34 years old. They're still working. There's never an end. You're never going to end. It's going to be forever. You're going to be working forever.
Only you can decide if you want to end.
I mean, like I was saying with the waves, some people are going to get I forgot who I was listening to recently, but this is a great point that people get thrown off the wave at the top sometimes. Like, literally, people will taste success and then they'll be like, "Oh, this is good. I'm done." When another person will take that dive and then they'll come back up even higher, and they'll just be on the way forever because they're not about the ups and downs. They're just about being in the process. We say it all the time, and I'm trying to restructure the way I say things now, because training and practice have lost meaning. People go to training and they go to practice. I've been using rehearsal. Rehearse. If you rehearse for a play, you're definitely not going to want to go into the play on a Saturday and be like, "Oh, I forgot my lines. I don't remember my lines." You're going to look like a fool. Same in soccer. If you don't rehearse your lines, if you don't go over video, if you don't come to training and put 110% in, you're going to have your pants down on Saturday. You have to make sure that you are ready. You're rehearsing every single day. You're learning your lines. You're learning your movements. You develop an understanding for the character, for your position. And once you get into the game, now we're just going by the script. Now we're just going by the script.
Let me touch on this. I love that. And like, off of that, it's like, the combination of like what Andrew and I are talking about, the mental, the physical, everything that you can do for yourself to get better is a tick for yourself. And for me, I always tell players, like, you are your own asset. If you think of yourself as a business, you are your own asset. You are your product. If you do all the right things, all these little things Andrew and I always talk about, you can sell. That's what this is. Football is a business. You can sell yourself better. If you, and it's like, football is not in your control a lot of the times, but what you do day to day is in your control. So if you can control your actions and do positive things to make yourself a better asset, you're going to have a better control in the scheme of things.
Right. I mean, spot on. I was just talking to my Team Replay members the other day about how they could leverage their social media to get more opportunities as a footballer. And what I was telling them is, you're selling yourself. You are the product. Your coach isn't going to be there forever. Your teammates aren't going to be there forever. All this stuff, it's not going to be there forever. The only thing that's going to be there is you, your skills, your understanding, the off the field stuff, how you interact with your teammates, the whole package.
Oh, dude.
Right. That's all that you have at the end of the day. Stop looking at your team. Stop looking at all this stuff. Yes, you need your team, but it's all about you. It's all about you and how you package yourself, whether or not people want to invest in you. You're the product. Would you want to buy? Would you want to buy, food that looked like that looked bad? Would you want to buy broccoli that was, gross and dirty? No. I would want to put money in, because that's what they're doing. When you get a professional contract, they're investing in you. They're giving you money. So at the end of the day, are they giving you money? Are they giving someone money who's not going to return the investment? No. So you need to make sure that you're well versed in what is actually asked of you. What is your job? All these different things. And then obviously you have to be your own promoter. Like that's what social media is now for footballers. Be your own promoter.
Make your own noise.
Right. Exactly.
And to add on to that, man, like what you said at the beginning of the call, man, it came back. Andrew and I are talking about a lot of things, a lot of micro things, a lot of macro things. But for us, you have to define what your principles are.
Yeah.
As a person, personally, for me, it's like if you can define like your principles, the methods will be much easier.
Yeah.
So if you have the principles of hard work, being consistent, being persistent, all those things, and then you can find the method. So if you know the why, it all comes down to your why. If you know your why, the how is so much easier. You know that why, you can figure out the how.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 1000%. I use priorities as well. Same thing. Like what do you hold near and dear to you at the end of the day? If you were on your deathbed today, what would you care about? Would you care about your family? Would you care about the game of soccer? Which is fine. You can look back. There are people who are on their deathbed who look back at their memories and say, oh, I really remember, playing in the World Cup and all this stuff. Like soccer can be it. There's no wrong answer. It's up to you, but you have to have priorities. Many people, they misconstrue their priorities. One of them will say, oh, I value soccer, but they go out every Friday before a game and, I don't see it. Or you say, I talked about this last time. You say you care about your family, but you spend more time, with your friends or video games or whatever. Like, just tell me the truth. What are your priorities?
I heard you say that the other day. I love that.
Just tell me the truth. What are your priorities?
Yeah.
It comes back to, don't compare yourself to anyone else. If someone asks you, what your priorities are, you don't have to worry about, oh, is this the right thing? Is this the wrong thing? It's your priorities. If you want to be the best FIFA player of all time, go and do it. Don't worry about, oh, how is this going to look? And is this looked down upon? Just do it. That's how you get unhappy is, oh, I'm a family man. I care about my family, but I play soccer and I game most of the time. Just tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth. So it's about, you're spot on. I just use the word priorities.
For sure. No, it's the same thing. And then, presence comes into this, being present for your priorities. So, like you just said, like you have, 2 or 3 priorities and, for example, if you have kids, it's a simple example, like, you're present for your work, but you get told by other parents that you're not a good parent because you work too much, right?
Yeah.
But if you're present with your kid the whole time and you're not on your phone, who's to say who's a good parent or not? You're present and you're spending quality time.
Yeah, I would say if you got a chance after this, go back and listen to all the things we've said, write them down, because you're saying something right now that you actually said at the beginning about bucketing, right? So the reason we talk about bucketing and setting aside days for certain parts of your life is so that you can be present. If you're a mom or a dad who really, really care about their family and their kids, but you also want to have a relationship with your husband or your wife, you might set aside Friday and just say, hey, we're getting a babysitter and we're going to go out and we're going to enjoy each other. Right. So it's not like, oh, I try to get a little bit of time here, a little bit of time here. No, it's about bucketing. It's about bucketing and setting aside, oh, at this time, I'm going to put my phone away. I'm going to be present with what I'm doing. Priorities. And I think bucketing is just prioritizing each day. I think it's the same thing. So,
and then what you said at the beginning, man, like what you asked me, it's like, why do I bucket? Because I want to concentrate on one thing for the day and get everything I can. If I'm doing, if my plan was to write was to write a blog on Thursday, but I'm doing video, I'm not all in on blog, you know?
Right. 100%, bro.
Let's bring Anthony on. He's been
let's do it.
Time. Let's see if he's got a question. Anthony, what's up, buddy? How are you? You got a question for us?
Yes, I wanna say something about what you said before.
Where are you from, first of all? It's a nice Greek name, I think you have.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm from Greece.
What part? What part of Greece?
Athens.
Good food over there, huh?
Yeah.
What's the question?
Before my question, I want to say something about two things you touched upon. First is if you don't see results from a habit that you're doing, a good habit to develop is reflection and doing that every week or something. Yes, and that's it. My question is, it's not really related to what you said, but I've been sleeping for 8 to 10 hours, and because I think I need a bit of extra, and because my body doesn't feel that good, is it okay for me to like suddenly ramp it up to 11 hours or not? Not 11 straight hours. I mean, with a nap, maybe if I didn't get the full.
All right, so let's do it like this. You talked about reflection.
Yes.
For the next 3 days, I want you to write every single thing that you eat down. See how you feel after you eat. And I also want you to write what type of training you're doing. Because, being tired isn't only related to sleep. It's related to nutrition.
Yeah.
No, I'm not really tired. I'm just getting a lot of pains. It's not really related to. I just want to do it so I can make sure that I'm doing everything so my body stays pain injury free.
Mm-hmm. So, like to answer answer that question again. Are you doing are you taking care of your nutrition, your hydration? Are you going to sleep at the same time, waking up at the same time every day?
I'm taking care of my nutrition and hydration. To be honest, I'm not really sleeping and waking up at the same time, but it's not that it's too massive of a difference, It's maybe it's like an hour or 30 minutes difference, but I will try to do it the same.
Okay, let's go back. So, test it out. Sleep 9 to 10 hours at night. Take an hour nap during the day. See if you feel better. If not, come back. DM either one of us, and we can give you some more tips. Andrew, you got anything to say to that?
No, last thing I'll say is because I've been sleeping a little bit more recently, just because I feel the same thing.
Finally, bro. How are you?
Yeah, bro. I've been sleeping a little bit more recently, but again, the reason I do it is because trial and error. Like, I'm trying things. If they work, great, I keep doing them. If they don't, I stop doing them. You got to keep trying different things. For me personally, it's yin and yang, right? So I feel like your body has to become accustomed to, the loads that you're putting onto it. So you can either gradually do that or just try to bear the load. But also you have to rest as well. So it's both, right? So I think Rick's spot on, like, try it. If it works, great, keep doing it. If not, got to adjust something else. Like, something else has to work, right?
I mean, is it maybe not that safe? Like, is it better to do it gradually? But I think that because I have more time because of lockdown, that's why I do want to do it now, because later on I will have things going on and I won't be able to get that much sleep.
Make sure that you're constantly going outside and staying active, because your body will become tired just from you. Like, if I just sat in this chair all day, I would actually get more tired than if I was actually going out and working. But the thing is, it's a brain thing, it's a mental thing. So like we were talking about before with serotonin and dopamine and all that stuff. Like, you could just be sitting there. Like, with lockdown, a lot of people are just sitting in the house and they forget to go outside or whatever. And by not getting that that vitamin D and all that, then your body's actually going to get more tired. So you need to make sure that you're staying active and still doing your thing, which it sounds like you're doing. So you got to trial and error. Try things. If they don't work, change them. right?
Point.
So
great point. And yeah, just to add on to that, one of the best ways to improve your sleep is, to quote, adjust your circadian rhythm. What do you do? Just like Andrew said, try to get outside when you get up, try to get outside as soon as possible. It could be for 2 minutes. It could be for 5 minutes. You can go for a walk. But just like Andrew said, your brain, when you go outside, your brain sees light, sunlight. It has all those positive things. And your brain says, oh, it's daylight. It's time to be awake, right? Then what you could do when it's sunset, same thing. Go outside for a 2 to 10 minute walk. Now your brain's telling you, oh, it's time to unwind. It's the end of the day. And the problem is nowadays, if you're in front of the computer too much, you're in front of blue light. You don't know if it's nighttime or daytime.
100%, man.
So, yeah, man. We hope we answered your question.
Yeah. When I wake up, I go to my balcony and I usually work out. Is that the sun? Is that good for? Am I getting the sun?
For sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. All right,
Good
man.
man.
Thank you.
Good man.
All
Later.
right, homie. So 51 minutes in.
Yeah. Another 16-minute Sunday.
Crazy.
Well, you guys got about 10, 16-minute Sundays today, so good job. But I got to bounce. But, bro, learning experience for you. Great streaming, man. Great streaming.
Yeah.
And we definitely got some solid content out of this, and we'll chop it up and we'll put it up on YouTube, man.
Yeah. All right, my G. Have a good rest of the Sunday. You guys as well. Let's start this week right, yeah?
Yeah. See you guys later.